Hello, I am going to do this again because once I get going, I get all excited and I forget that I have to show you the entire piece of paper. Anyway, I've got my pencils. I have my sharpener and I have a piece of paper. You have received watercolor paper with one side smoother and one side bumpier. I suggest you use if you're going to be shading, when you are shading with pencil, please use the smoother side. Also have a brush and a rag, and I have put this thing right here so that you never ever not see my paper, because I've filmed this 5 times already. Okay, so in the interest of time, I am going to show you how to draw a pear, because a pear is deceivingly simple. A pear is not just a pear-shaped object. That's too general. A pear has bumps. A pear has, bumps, shapes, like us. Anyway, so the easiest way to draw anything is to first break it down into its basic shapes. So I am going to say that here on this pear I have a circle, and then here, this side over here, is a semicircle, a half circle, sort of. And this shape over here is like a bell. So that's what I'm going to do first. I am going to draw a circle. I'm going to make my markings quite strong so that you can actually see from there. This circle is a disaster, but thank God I don't need this line. Yeah, okay. Okay, with your brush, take away all the little bits of eraser. Then this half moon here is sort of on an angle. So I'm going to start it here. You see the angle? And I am going to go up, and I'm going to finish it right there. I may need to increase this circle, but I'm not sure yet. And then I am going to make the bell shape up here. Okay, there's my bell. Now, I have these 3 things floating in space. You could argue that you want to create a totally abstract pear, and as long as you stick to that argument, no one is going to argue. Nobody's going to question you. Okay. So now I have the stem, sort of. Now, what do I need to know? I need to know how this line here intersects and fuses into the sides. So I'm going to look at the one with the it seems to me that it goes down quite straight and then this bump goes out quite a bit. So if I look at mine, I don't think that, well, let's see. So I am going to first do this. Make a line, a smooth line. See that? Okay. And then let's look at this one. I think this one is longer, and even though it is inside the bump, can you see that? It's a little less dramatic than the one on the other side. Now this looks like a rotund woman in some sort of, yeah, this is the beginning of a botero. Let's put it that way. So now I can get rid of all my guidelines. And I'm actually going to leave this one for a minute, and you'll see why. So now I'm going to look at how this half smooths into this circle. And it is, I think, goes like this. Does it? I actually think okay, so this was my original line. I think I have to make this a little, protrude out a little more. And notice that I'm not taking my original line out before I do the new one, so that I have a guideline. There we go. Oh yeah, this is definitely a botero pear. Botero's objects and subjects or subject matter is always very rotund, and that's what I love about him, his work. Okay, so I've got that. I've got my pear. I fused everything together, and I'm going to stick to this is as good a pear as we are going to get today. So now I'm going to start the shading part. You made your grayscale, maybe, and let's look at this whole composition. The composition, I have information here that this is a very dark, the darkest, and I'm going to say it is 6B. Although you could do this entire drawing with any pencil. You just have to keep layering. And it starts not where this and this start intersecting, but more down here. And what is it like? It's like this. And look, again, observe the shape of your shadow. Then if you look at here, the shadow starts getting lighter because the surface is taking in more light, and then it goes to lighter. Do you see that? Black, sort of very dark gray, and then a lighter gray. And on this side, where the light source is, because my light source is right here, it is yellower. and I love it. Anyway, but I'm working with black, so I can only do so much. So I have that. I know I'm going to have to intersect another one here. That is going to be, so I start making again guidelines as to where my other shadows are going to be. I'm going to have to layer this one more so that it's the darkest. Layer, then make this one, and then this one is going to be with one of the hard pencils so that it's super light. And I am going to honor the Fimo I have under this pear. I'm going to add it here, and then there's another little piece here. Then you start marking where your shadows are going to be. I made a point of making this light an island. I mean, there's an island there, so I don't go in it, and then I have to erase and make a mess. And this one up here, which is also the light. The only two places on the pear, these are the two most protruding places, areas of this pear, because that's where the pure light is. Everything else is bumpy and in and out. And so the reason I had left this here is because when I start indicating where my shades are, my shadows are, I don't want that. I'm going to use my HB pencil. I'm going to first sharpen it. Oh, I could have drawn this too. This is my most prized possession in the world. My German pencil sharpener. The only one that does not heat. And it's always ready. Okay. So now I am going to start just creating. You see how here there's a bit of like a scalloping from the bottom? This is the darkest part. I like shading with the side of my pencil. There are people who like shading like this, cross-hatching. And then you make it darker and darker as you put more and more, as you cross-hatch more and more and more in the space. So you could decide to do cross-hatching, or you could decide to just do this and then keep adding layers to it. Ah, I've moved it again. Okay. I am going to make myself a reminder that this is where the pure light of this one is. And oh, you see, I made a mistake. And over here is the other area of pure light. And then I can start creating the areas of shadow. And then I'll go back in and darken them as necessary. So this is where I indicated where all the shadows were. and this one is not finished, but you can see that I have started darkening areas that I know are much darker. And then I will start doing the gradation over here. So I hope this helps.